Let me guess something about your relationship. It's not that you don't love your partner anymore. It is something worse. It's that you are both exhausted. Exhausted from repeating the same arguments, exhausted from talking and not feeling heard, exhausted from living in the same house and feeling completely alone. My name is Erika Navarro. I am an integrative clinical therapist specializing in couples and family therapy with over 18 years of experience working with relational trauma, emotional regulation, and transgenerational healing. And I created the Couples with Purpose program to help couples heal their individual wounds and decide with clarity whether to continue together or not, but without destroying each other in the process. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, you are going to understand why your relationship reached this point. For years, I lived what many people would consider a perfect life. I lived in Hollywood. I had financial stability, family, work, a son, a home, the life I dreamed of. And I started having panic attacks inside my own house. I didn't understand what was happening. I had no energy. My body was inflamed, exhausted. My desire for closeness disappeared. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to share. And something I will never forget. I stopped looking at myself in the mirror. And I stopped looking at my partner. And this is what nobody told me at that moment. I would say, I'm too busy. I'm too tired. But it wasn't tiredness. It was deep disconnection. My mind couldn't explain that, but my body was expressing it. Tension, pain, emotional blockage. And I know that maybe you have felt this too. That moment when you realize, I'm living with a stranger, or worse, I'm becoming someone I don't recognize. But here is the part that changed everything for me. That's when I understood something that completely transformed my professional life and the way I worked with couples. Many relationships don't break because of lack of love. They break because two wounded people are trying to sustain a relationship while in emotional survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you can't love, you can only react. Here is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say it out loud. Couples don't fight about money. They don't fight about the kids. They don't fight about who washes the dishes or who comes home late. They fight because two overwhelmed nervous systems are trying to survive in the same house. Let me explain how this works. When a person is emotionally and physically overwhelmed, the nervous system goes into defense mode. And from defense mode, you can't love, you can only react. So everything bothers you. Everything gets interpreted as an attack. Closeness feels like invasion. Conversations feel like criticism. And the relationship becomes pure logistics. The house stops feeling like home and it starts feeling like a burden. And if you have children, this becomes even more critical. If you have kids, you need to hear this carefully. Children don't learn from what we say. They learn from the environment. Your child won't remember if the house was clean. They will remember how the house felt. They will learn that love is a constant battle, uncomfortable silence, or genuine connection, even in disagreement. And that memory will live in the nervous system for decades. Trust me, I know because I was that child. That is why this program isn't just about saving relationships. It is about preventing emotional wounds passing from one generation to the other. It's so your children learn that love can be a refuge, not a battlefield. Now I know what you are thinking. Erika, we have already tried therapy. We already read books. We have talked 1,000 times. Listen to me. Couples with Purpose is not traditional therapy. It is not sitting down to talk about the same 5, 10 times without resolution. It is a clinical 4-phase system that I work through in this specific order. Phase 1, somatic regulation. During the first 2 weeks before talking about money or the kids, we heal the trauma that lives in the body because a couple with their nervous system on alert cannot communicate. They can only defend themselves. We work with breathing, somatic movement, and nervous system regulation, so your body can exit survival mode. Phase 2, cognitive reprogramming. Here, we work on the anxiety in the relationship, the repetitive thoughts, the anticipatory anxiety, the automatic reactions that destroy closeness. They always do the same thing. They never listen to me. I know how they are going to react. Those mental patterns that keep you trapped in the same cycle, we reprogram them. Phase 3, emotional communication. Here you learn to say, I'm hurt, instead of you're a mess. To ask for closeness without attacking. To set boundaries without punishing. To express needs without demanding. Because most couples don't know how to communicate from vulnerability. They only know how to criticize, defend, or shut down, and that kills connection. And here is the final stage: values and shared vision. Finally, we define together: what kind of family do we want to be? What values are non-negotiable? What does healthy love looks like for us? Not for society, not for our parents, but for you. And most importantly, we don't start until we do a deep evaluation of physical, emotional, and relational symptoms. Because not all couples need the same thing. And honestly, not all couples should stay together. And that's okay too. Now you're probably thinking one of these three things. But Erica, my partner doesn't want to do therapy. I hear this every week, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Marcela 3 months ago. When you change your emotional regulation, when you stop reacting from defense, when you learn to communicate from calm, the entire dynamic of the relationship changes. Marcela started alone. Her husband joined 4 weeks later because he saw the change, not in the words, in the energy. We have already tried therapy and it didn't work. Let me be clear. This is not traditional therapy where you talk about the same fight 15 times without resolution. Here, we work on the body, the emotions, the communication, and the values in that order, because real change doesn't come from understanding. It comes from feeling different. We don't have time. I understand. You also didn't have time for the 2-hour fights, or for the sleepless nights thinking about how to fix this, or for the emotional exhaustion you have been carrying. Continuing like this also takes time. The difference is that this time gives you something back: clarity, connection, and peace. And here is my guarantee, and it is not what you expect. I'm not going to promise that your relationship will continue. I promise something better: emotional clarity instead of constant confusion, connection with yourself instead of losing yourself in the other, the ability to decide from calm, not from pain. And that means either you rebuild the relationship in a healthy way, or you close the cycle without destroying each other. But in both cases, there is dignity, respect, healing. I don't guarantee you will stay together. I guarantee that if you apply this program, you will come out with clear truth and with the ability to choose your path from self-love, not from fear. If something I said resonated with you, if you thought that's me, if you felt relieved knowing there is a different path, don't let this feeling fade away. Below there is a button to schedule a free clarity session with me. This is not a sales call. It is a real conversation where I'm going to tell you if this program is right for you, or if the healthiest thing is another path. Because sometimes you don't need more effort. You need more truth. And that's what I'm going to give you. Schedule your free call here.